It's called Colorado's Gas Pipeline Safety Program. An audit found it can't prove its safety record, which kind of seems like the whole point. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
If not for the sign, you may never notice the infrastructure hiding in plain sight. Gas pipelines like these are supposed to be inspected and reviewed by state regulators. A newly released state audit on the Gas Pipeline Safety Program questions the safety part of the program.
It's not that things are being skipped. It's that they might not have been documented as well as they could have been.
Katie O'Donnell is the Director of Public Engagement for DORA, the Department of Regulatory Agencies, which includes the Public Utilities Commission, the same PUC we talk about in our Excel stories. The PUC also handles gas pipeline safety.
It is hard for the public to feel like they're safe if they know nothing about the work that's going on behind the scenes.
If your introduction to the Gas Pipeline Safety Program is because of the audit, there's work to be done to make you feel safe. Some key findings: safety requirements for out-of-compliance operators were rarely enforced. Fines are inconsistent and appear to be rarely paid or enforced. And records were not kept to show pipelines were actually being inspected. And when they were, they didn't add up. For instance, in 2022, the audit found that one inspector did all operations and maintenance inspections remotely in half a day. If that's true, it would have been 2.1 minutes for each inspection. The audit also found another inspector did all damage prevention inspections remotely in one day, which would have been an average of 7.9 minutes per inspection with no breaks. The state believes this is purely a result of bad record keeping.
It's not a minor thing. We take the documentation really seriously, but it's not that somebody hasn't been out there doing the required inspections and the boots on the ground to make sure that the public is safe.
The audit was also critical of natural gas companies, saying 54 gas-related accidents were not reported to the state's gas pipeline safety program. And the auditors only knew about 7 of them because they were reported on by the news. The PUC and DORA agreed with all but one of the 36 recommendations, and the other one they partially agreed on. The part that I'm still waiting for is on if there's no proper documentation showing pipelines were inspected, how do you prove they were inspected and that it's simply not missing paperwork?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a question about whether you do any actual work or if you've just got your feet up on the desk watching Nuggets games, you could be like, here's a fat stack of stories that I've done. But I mean, like, what's the punishment for if they don't comply?
Right now, it's not clear because based on the audit, there's a lot of these that take months and years to go through a legislative process or a legal process. And so fines could happen, but if you're not getting fined like we saw with the Firestone explosion, multi-million dollars, like, yeah, what is the incentive other than you don't want to be the next company that hears about an explosion on the news because you had bad infrastructure, but then you don't want to be the state inspector saying, oh, did we miss that pipeline that happened because of us?
Marshall, thank you.